Hello everybody. In this video I'm going to introduce you to one of the next projects. This is the Philco Model 80, which is referred to as a Junior, and there are several different models of it. These came out about 32, 33 time frame. They're low end, they're cheaper set, if you'll recall what the time frame was in early 30s, depression, so things were bad. So folks wanted didn't have a lot of money, but people wanted radios, so this was one of the answers. So Philco came out with the 80 series, and they're referred to as the Philco Junior, and it's a super heterodyne, but utilizes a regenerative circuit in it because it doesn't have an IF amplifier. So it uses a regen process on that. So this is a Model 80C, 80 Charlie, and there's a B, which is a cathedral, and a P is a portable, and there's also a colonial clock. I had never seen anything like that. Well, as you can tell by the looks of this, the cabinet is in pretty foul shape. It just seemed like those are attracted towards me, or I'm towards them, or something that does something, gives you a challenge or what have you. But I thought this would be an interesting project. I don't know if this has been in a fire, but this corner has been extremely hot. The finish is peeling off, and I'll go into it as we tear this down and do the checks on it. We'll look at that, and you can see even on the dial itself, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it gets brighter there. This was smoked up. So this was either in a room where there was, I'm saying maybe a smokehouse somewhere, and it got too hot, or it's sitting by a fireplace or by a wood heater in a shed or something, and it just got too hot. I don't know. But anyway, we'll tear into this and just do some assessments on it and see where we're at. And definitely the cabinet is going to have to be refinished. There's quite a bit of cracking, and so there's going to be some woodwork involved in this. But I thought it would be a interesting radio and a little bit of a challenge, and be something to do. Started taking this apart to do some more assessment. As you can see, we've got a pretty good crack in the side here, also in the top. So took the knobs off, put them in a bag. One, the bottom is held on with a set screw, the other one just pulls out. Let's look in the back. Gotta be careful with that. As you can see, it's coming apart right there, and another crack on the other side. So I'm going to have to do some serious gluing. Let's see if I can get some light down in here. As you can see, pretty nasty looking. Some glue blocks in there. These are the 36 tubes. Here and here, the 80 tube, and I don't know if you can see it or not back in there, but there's the 42 tube, and it is one of the globes. Let's pull the screws out and pull it out. I want to do some checks on the speaker. And the coils, the 32, 33 models, the coils are really notorious for being bad. So before we do anything, we need to see where we're at with those coils and transformers. Okay, it's pulled out of the cabinet. The chassis is in pretty rough shape. Look at this tube. This is a 42 tube. I believe this may very well be the original. That's a Philco. It's written 42 on it. I don't know. Look how smoked up that is. And that's on the outside. I don't think that's... I think that's from whatever damage was done to the radio from smoke or smoke inhalation. Got this one, I guess. I don't know. But we'll put that to the side. But look how all this is grunged up. Leads off. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the speaker out just to get the cabinet away from everything. And then we'll flip this over and see if we can't do some checks and see where we're at. Sorry about the hand being in the way, but there was 3 nuts. Let's see if we can get this speaker out. I'm scared about this speaker with all the heat and everything. Pretty rusty too. Let's see if we can bring this thing out. Oh. Let's see. Sounds pretty good. Well, it's a little rust. Yikes. But we should be able to check this stuff out now. Let's get this cabinet out of the way. Cut me a piece of cardboard, some tie wraps through the holes, and that ought to protect the speaker. We'll have to address the rusting a little later. But let's flip this over. Let me reposition the camera, and I'll have to do some stuff to... I don't want to cut this off just yet because I want to trace it out and make sure I read the right things when I'm checking the speaker coil and the output transformer. Okay, let's see if we can get under here and see what we have. What we have here. Okay. Typical Philco block capacitors. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. This looks like an add-on. That doesn't look like the original. Look at the filter caps here and here. They're still connected. So how much has been done in here? Don't know yet. All the dog bones look halfway original. Here's the gimmick capacitor. This might have been added later on in life because I didn't think the 80 did have the gimmick. I thought that was a modification later on. But nonetheless, there's the gimmick capacitor. It looks like this may be a total off of chassis rebuild, what it looks like so far. But anyway, we want to check the let's check the transformer and the speaker coil, and then we'll have to go into these coils here. These are what scares you. Because in the early 30 time period, they were made out of some sort of I don't want to misspeak, but I think it was some sort of celluloid film or what have you. And the windings were, it's about number 3640 gauge wire, and they're wound on it. Well, as time progressed, that material broke down and created a nitric acid, which guess what it does to copper. You got it, it ate through, and without any current or anything going through the wires, they just deteriorated. I think it was on the 84 I showed you the green where it had corroded, and I suspect these may be in the same shape. We'll just have to wait and see as we get a little deeper in it. Here's the layout that I have. So hopefully it looks similar to it. There's the transformer. I bet this one took the place of one of these bake lights. Let's get an idea of what we're looking at here. Here's the rectifier tube socket. Of course, here's the electrolytics. This is the first detector, oscillator 36, the first one in the circuit, and this is the second one. This is the second detector itself. Up here is the output tube. Here, of course. This is the IF coil, transformer, what have you. This right here is the oscillator coil in here, and this is the antenna coil back in here. So like I say, these three, especially being in some sort of heat environment, it's probably not looking good for the home team, but you know, somebody wound them, they can be wound again. It may not be something we want to do, but it's possible. So, of course, this is the regenerative control down here, and the IFs, and then the low frequency, the low end tuning to tweak it up. So in the 84, I had trouble with these, so I ended up having to take those apart and cleaning those up. So since we've had a lot of smoke damage, smoke inhalation here, we're probably going to end up having to clean all this stuff up. So this is going to be a pretty detailed, nasty endeavor. And you know, let's see if we got a good transformer and coils. Now I keep saying that, so I guess I'm procrastinating, don't want to get into them or not. So let's dive in. Well, the first thing I found out that the switch, I was going to go across the line, the switch doesn't work, so that'll have to be refurbished. So I went across. The primary is supposed to read 10.42. I'm reading 8.5. I think that's pretty good. That's the filament to the rectifier, supposed to be read 0.15, so that's 0.3. I think that's good. The high voltage winding, supposed to read 303, that's 391. Now it does have a center tap, but I'm going to have to go to resistor 36 because it's not to ground. The center tap is not to ground, so I'll have to go to that and see. It should be approximately half of that. Let me find it. Okay, that's the big resistor there. It's reading about 187 ohms. Let's go the other side. It's reading about 204 ohms, so a little bit half. That's about right. So that's good. While I'm here, that resistor 36 is supposed to be 325 ohms. It looks pretty good, 338. You know, every one of the Philcos that I've worked on, this resistor has been really close. This is the filament of the other tubes, the 6.3 filament windings. And here goes my meters timing out. I dislike that, but let's see, that was supposed to be 0.25 and it's 0.4. That's okay. But you know, it has saved my battery more times than not, me walking away and everything. So I think the power transformer is good. Let's look at the speaker coils. Okay, the speaker coil should be across these two capacitors here, and it's supposed to be 1250, 1127. I think that's okay. Okay, the primary of the output transformer should be from C35 to pin 2 of the output tube, and it should be 364 ohms. There's 371 ohms, so that looks good. So let's dig into some of these transformers and coils. Let's check the antenna coils or transformer number 2. We can see both of the coils are connected to ground, so one of our connections will be there. The other one is connected to the center of the potentiometer, and the other one is to one of the tuning condensers. So we can check that. Should be 2.6 on this one and 6.5 ohms on that one. Got that to ground, and let's go to the center. Make sure this stuff's kind of nasty, but you can see that's 2.7ish. The schematic says 2.66. I think that's pretty good. At least it's not open. Okay, tracing this wire here coming through the chassis from the tuning condenser, it goes to this terminal here, and we're still to ground, and we're getting 7.3, and it says it's supposed to be 6.5. So looks like the antenna coil looks fine. Okay, as usual, guys, I run my mouth more than I did work, so the video's running a little long. Now, I've shot a lot of the video on the testing. I won't give you any spoilers on what I found so far, but be expecting a part 2 coming up fairly shortly. My run's coming up in 18 days or so. So during that period of time, I won't be doing anything, but I'll be putting part 2 out hopefully before I get out or go out on the run. Just show you this. You couldn't see it earlier in the video, but you can see how light this is. Well, this was where the dial was in this particular part right here, and you could see that it was external smoke or heat or what have you affected this here. So anyway, we're gonna chop this one off and bring the rest of the stuff up in part 2. I appreciate everybody, all my subscribers and everybody's comments and everybody hanging with me and what have you. So from Larry from the hills of Tennessee, thanks for watching.